In the city that never sleeps, a political earthquake just hit. On June 24, 2025, New York City Democrats picked their guy for mayor. In a shocking upset that nobody saw coming, they handed the nomination to Zohran Mamdani, a 33-year-old, self-described democratic socialist. The win sent tremors through the entire political establishment and set up a general election that's a total clash of visions for America's biggest city. And of course, watching from the sidelines, Donald Trump. While he's had plenty of opponents, his political playbook has always been brutally simple. He even laid it out himself. All we have to do is define our opponent as being a communist or a socialist or somebody who is going to destroy our country. Now, with a Democratic socialist nominated in his own backyard, the stage is set for an ideological war over the soul of New York. This is the story of how one election became the new front line in a national battle, and why Trump's political machine just found its perfect new target. So, who is the guy at the center of this political firestorm? Before he was a politician, Zohran Mamdani was a housing counselor in Queens, a hip-hop artist, and a community organizer. He was born in Uganda to world-renowned filmmaker Myra Nair and influential academic Mahmoud Mamdani. He moved to New York at 7 and is a true child of the city. He went to the Bronx High School of Science and then Bowdoin College, where he got deep into activism, co-founding a chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine. His jump into politics was a shock to the system. In 2020, backed by the Democratic Socialists of America, he knocked out a longtime incumbent to win a seat in the New York State Assembly. His focus there was unapologetically radical. He championed a pilot program for fare-free city buses and fought for debt relief for struggling taxi drivers. His 2025 campaign for mayor was built on an even bigger platform aimed squarely at New York's crushing cost of living. Mamdani's vision? A rent-freeze, unstabilized apartments, city-owned grocery stores to bring down prices, universal public childcare, and jacking the minimum wage up to $30 an hour. To pay for it all, he's proposing major tax hikes on big corporations and anyone earning over $1 million a year. This is a straight-up socialist platform, and it brought together a historic coalition of young voters, immigrants, and progressives who were desperate for real change. With support from big names like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders, his campaign launched a massive grassroots effort, knocking on countless doors. On June 24th, they blew past all expectations and beat Andrew Cuomo, a giant of New York politics, for the Democratic nomination. Mamdani's victory wasn't just an upset. It was a political earthquake, signaling that a new, more radical vision for New York is no longer on the fringes. It's at the center of power. For Donald Trump, an opponent like Zohran Mamdani isn't a new challenge, it's an old script. For years, Trump has been sharpening a very specific strategy. You don't just debate your adversaries, you label them as a threat to the American way of life. The magic words, socialist and communist. And this isn't just random insults. It's a cold, calculated tactic. Way back in 2015, Trump was already calling Bernie Sanders a socialist/communist who was going to take everything. He spent his presidency hammering this message home, declaring that socialism and communism are about one thing only: power for the ruling class, and promising that America will never be a socialist country. The strategy is simple because, as Trump sees it, it works. In August 2024, he laid the whole thing out for reporters. All we have to do is define our opponent as being a communist or a socialist or somebody who is going to destroy our country. He's used that exact playbook again and again. And now, Zohran Mamdani fits the bill perfectly. Sure enough, right after Mamdani's win, Trump and his allies put the plan into action. On Truth Social, Trump vowed, "I'm not going to let this communist lunatic destroy New York." He's repeatedly called Mamdani a pure, true communist and a total nut job. This isn't about policy, it's about fear. It taps into decades of anti-communist feeling in America to paint Mamdani not as a political rival, but as an enemy who threatens the very existence of the city and the country. Now, to be clear, experts point out this label is just not accurate. Anna Malabosa, a Stanford professor, has stated that Mamdani is not a communist because communism means a centrally planned economy with zero private ownership, things Mamdani has never called for. In fact, his platform has proposals to make it easier to run a small business. But the dictionary definition doesn't matter as much as the emotional punch. The label is a weapon meant to shut down debate and turn the election into a fight for survival. And in Zohran Mamdani, Trump has found the perfect foil for his favorite political attack. Mamdani's victory has basically thrown the 2025 mayoral race into total chaos. The general election is now a multi-front war. You've got Mamdani, the Democratic nominee carrying the banner for the progressive left. You have the incumbent mayor, Eric Adams, who is running as an independent after dropping out of the Democratic primary while facing a federal corruption indictment and terrible approval ratings. Then there's Curtis Sliwa, founder of The Guardian, Angels, running as the Republican again. And because it's New York, there's still the chance that Andrew Cuomo jumps back in on an independent line. You can imagine how this crowded, fractured field just creates a powder keg. Mayor Adams' team thinks Mamdani's nomination is a gift, hoping that moderate Democrats and independents, terrified by the socialist tag, will run straight to him. The day after the primary, an Adams campaign spokesperson said the phone's been ringing off the hook. Meanwhile, Trump is already jumping in, not just with words but with threats. He's pushed false claims questioning Mamdani's citizenship even though he became a naturalized citizen in 2018 and has actually threatened to have him arrested if, as mayor, he interferes with federal ICE operations. Mamdani is refusing to back down. In response to Trump, he fired back. His statements don't just represent an attack on our democracy, but an attempt to send a message to every New Yorker who refuses to hide in the shadows. If you speak up, they will come for you. We will not accept this intimidation. And just like that, the race for City Hall is no longer a local issue. It's a national spectacle. It's a proxy war over the future of the Democratic Party, whether socialism can work in America, and the soul of a city that's struggling with affordability and safety. For Trump, it's a golden opportunity to reassert his power and energize his base. For Mamdani, it's a chance to prove that a progressive movement can win even when the whole world is watching. The fight for New York isn't just about who runs City Hall anymore. It's about what New York can, by extension, America's, and what it will become. So, the battle lines are drawn in the concrete canyons of New York. On one side, you have Zohran Mamdani, a young, defiant democratic socialist who built the movement and shocked everyone. His win represents a powerful new wave in American politics, one that wants to completely change the game. On the other side, you have a pileup of opposition, a sitting mayor running as an independent, the entire Republican Party, all of them united by the fear of a socialist in Gracie Mansion. And hovering over it all is Donald Trump, who sees Mamdani as the perfect enemy for his story and has already unleashed his classic communist playbook. Look, this isn't just about New York anymore. It's a test case for the entire country. A clash of ideologies, generations, and visions for what comes next. The winner won't just run America's largest city. They'll send a powerful signal about where the nation is heading. New York City is now the arena for a political civil war, and everyone is watching to see who comes out on top. What do you think? Is this kind of rhetoric from Trump a smart political strategy, or is it going to backfire on him? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you want to keep up with the political fights shaping our world, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We break down the strategies, the players, and what's at stake so you know what's really going on behind the headlines. Thanks for watching.